In the heritage of hip-hop history, few individuals have made as lasting an impact as Lil' Kim. Rising from humble beginnings in Brooklyn, New York, her ascent to stardom was nothing short of remarkable. With a potent blend of raw talent, fearless charisma, and a penchant for breaking boundaries, Lil' Kim redefined the role of women in hip-hop and shattered glass ceilings that had long constrained the genre. Several media outlets have referred to Lil' Kim as the Queen of Rap, and by the alias she uses, Queen Bee. Newsweek has called her the First Lady of Rap, with editor Allison Samuels writing in 2000 that she has transcended the male-dominated world of rap to become one of America's sassiest, most engaging icons. But when things work out for you, it's mostly like we will stumble. The media and entertainment industry has had enough of Lil' Kim. She's not the person she used to be, figuratively and physically. Truth be told, the hip-hop community always romanticized her just a little bit more than we should. All fans do this to superstar artists. But with Kim, it was more exaggerated. Because in the wake of MC Lyte's winding down career, hip-hop was desperate for a new femme fatale. And as long as we could overlook some obvious warning signs, Lil' Kim fits the role perfectly. Then this happened, and everything changed. In this video, we will show you all factors that contributed to Lil' Kim's decline from her position as a hip-hop icon. Lil' Kim's background. Lil' Kim, born Kimberly Denise Jones, was born and raised in Bedford-Stuyvesant, New York, NY, better known as Bed-Stuy. The only daughter and youngest child of Ruby and Linwood Jones, Kim was raised primarily by her father after her parents split when she was around 9 years old. The relationship with her father was a tumultuous one, resulting in her being kicked out when she was in high school. This was also around the time she met Christopher Wallace, better known as the Notorious B.I.G., who had not yet been signed to Bad Boy Records. Biggie would eventually take Kim under his wing as both his protege and his lover. The hit 2009 movie Notorious depicted the two as friends who became lovers and gave a bit of insight into how Kim's ultra-sexy persona came to be. Biggie liked that Kim could spit, but he didn't like the hardness of it, so he persuaded her to tone down the thug in her and rely more on her femininity. And it paid off in gold. In 1994, at the tender age of 19, Kim joined Junior MAFIA and picked up the moniker Lil' Kim. The rest is history. The Brooklyn-based rap group would release Conspiracy in 1995, which boasted bangers like Players Anthem and Get Money. Following the release of the album, Kim's popularity began to increase. She was on her way, Notorious K.I.M. A year after the release of Conspiracy, Kim dropped her first solo project, Hardcore. The album debuted at number 3 on Billboard's Top R&B Hip-Hop Albums and sold nearly 80,000 copies the first week. That may seem like a small accomplishment today, but this was the mid-90s before there was such thing as social media or streaming. Amid her rise to the top, Kim and Biggie continued their love affair until a red bone with the voice of an angel came on the scene. Faith Evans was Bad Boy's biggest female R&B act back then, and she had captured the eye of Biggie, who she would later go on to marry and have a son with, much to Kim's dismay. However, despite being married to Faith, Biggie continued his relationship with Kim. Allegedly, things got messy between the trio, and Faith is on record saying she felt a way about the affair. But the two women would have to put their differences behind them when Biggie was gunned down in February 1997. To this day, Kim still speaks highly of Biggie, always shouting him out and giving him his props as the catalyst for her career. Over 25 years have passed since his untimely death, but it's obvious Kim still has a lot of love and respect for the great Notorious B.I.G. Following the death of Biggie, a lot of people expected Kim to fall off. There were rumors that Biggie had pinned a lot of her songs, and many believed that she could not succeed without the cosign of a man. Many expected her to just fade to black without Biggie, who by far was one of her greatest supporters. But in the summer of 2002, Kim proved all the naysayers wrong when she dropped her second album, The Notorious K.I.M., which debuted at #1 on the Billboard Top R&B Hip-Hop Album chart, selling 229,000 copies the first week. Botched. In 2003, Lil' Kim would release her third studio album, La Bella Mafia. It was around this time the plastic surgery started. In recent years, Lil' Kim has received a lot of backlash for going under the knife, but this has been 15 years in the making. It started with the boob job. Then there was the nose job. Once she ran out of things to do to her face, she went to work on her body. To those of us who grew up in the 90s, the woman we see now is not the same girl whose music we used to bop to back in the day. I am all for people doing a little nip and tuck, especially as we start to get up in age. But Kim was in her 20s and early 30s when she started getting work done. And while she may think differently, Kim was a naturally beautiful woman, and I know at least a dozen people who would agree. Lil' Kim was bad. The woman was a pinup dream for many young and old black men, but nowadays she's looking more like Jigsaw from the movies. After years of speculation and criticism regarding her ever-changing appearance, Kim finally addressed the elephant in the room. She admitted that a lack of self-esteem is what has led her to get so much work done. It's no surprise that Kim has come up against colorism, as it permeates both the music industry and the black community. Between the industry and black men's preference for lighter, more racially ambiguous-looking women, Kim ain't stand a chance. However, while I sympathize with her as a dark-skinned girl, I am highly melanated, I worry about the message this sends to little girls, particularly her young daughter. It's just an overabundance of young women getting a bunch of unnecessary plastic surgery. And I believe it's the pressure to be picture-perfect at all times that fuels their desire to get these risky procedures done. Just last week it was revealed that the Brazilian butt lift, BBL, a popular cosmetic procedure among black women, is one of the riskiest procedures you can get. Legal woes. In 2005, Lil' Kim was convicted of conspiracy and perjury for lying under oath about a 2001 shooting involving a friend and former junior MAFIA bandmate Sweff Jackson, a.k.a. Gutta. She was sentenced and served 1 year at the Federal Detention Center in Philly. Before her 1-year stint, she documented her last days on BET's Lil' Kim, Countdown to Lockdown, which chronicled the days leading up until she started her prison sentence. During her bid, she released her fourth album, The Naked Truth, in September of 2005. Battle of the Barbies. While Kim and fellow raptress Foxy Brown had been feuding for years, a new girl on the scene was threatening the throne. Nicki Minaj kind of just popped up out of nowhere. 1 minute she was practically unheard of, the next she was on Monster with the likes of Jay-Z and Kanye West. At the beginning of her career, Nicki was Barbie through and through. She nailed the aesthetic. The problem was she was coming off a bit too much like Kim, especially once she dropped the artwork for her Sucker-Free mixtape in the same iconic pose from Kim's hardcore album. However, Nicki has always cited Kim, among others, as being an inspiration to her. And at first, the two women got along, but Kim got in her feelings after she found out a song she was supposed to be featured on was given to the new girl on the block. Suddenly, Nicki wasn't paying homage, even though the woman is on record bigging Kim up. She got messy and diss records were released, but there was nothing Kim could do to stop Nicki's flight. To this day, some 10+ years later, Kim still has issues with Nicki. Nicki has long since moved on from the beef. But Kim still claims that Nicki bit her style without giving her props despite the multiple receipts proving otherwise. Nicki has not been the only victim of Kim's pettiness. She's also on record dissing actress Naturi Naughton, who depicted her in Biggie's 2010 biopic. Kim was pissed that nobody consulted with her when deciding who should have played her in the film, but as Mrs. Wallace so eloquently put it, the film was about Biggie's life, not Kim's. She also had an issue with the way she and the late great B.I.G.'s relationship was played out on the big screen, and to this day, she still holds a grudge against Naturi, who did a stellar job, by the way. When asked who she felt should have played her, Kim said, "Christina Milian." Girl, wet! A living legend, none the least. I strongly believe that Kim sabotaged her career with her bad attitude. Somewhere down the line, she missed the lesson on the importance of being able to play well with others. At this point, she's burnt her bridges, and there ain't a ship in sight. The music and entertainment industries are fickle entities. One minute you're the hottest thing smoking, the next you're being railroaded for the slightest offense, especially in today's cancel culture. And Kim continues to make the mistake of coming across as bitter and jaded, which is a bad look for anyone, but especially for Queen Bee. Although Lil' Kim is a petty mess, she's an icon. You can't take that away from her. Without her paving the way for today's breed of female rapper, there would be no Nicki Minaj, no City Girls, no Megan Thee Stallion. She deserves props for that. She is greatness personified. I just wish she could see it. In conclusion, the downfall of Lil' Kim illustrates the challenges of navigating fame, identity, and the pitfalls of a high-stakes industry. Her journey is a reminder of the importance of self-preservation and authenticity in the face of external pressures. While her career may have faced setbacks, her influence on the culture remains an enduring testament to her legacy.